Okay, guys, we're back. We're gonna definitely try this again here in just a little bit. I'm gonna wait for him to come back on. You guys now know who my surprise guest is. So here in just a little bit, whenever he pops back on, I'll send him the invite to be able to come on and do this. So hang tight with me. All right. Okay. We're waiting. All right, here we go. Let's see here. Alrighty. All right. Lathan, thank you for jumping on really fast. I think Christy's fixing to jump back on here in a little bit. And then as soon as we get Tom on here, I'll be able to send him the new invite. Because I guess you can only send the invite once. I don't know. Anybody know how this works? I'm trying to work this on here. There it is. Send the invite. Testing, 1, 2. Testing, 1, 2.
All right. Here we go.
Tom, good morning.
So apparently, if you're trying to do it on your computer, it doesn't work. But if you move over to your phone, you're all good.
Oh,
So
okay.
I don't know what's up with that, but that's what we just learned.
That's exactly what I said. Hey, listen, it's worth doing poorly,
That's,
right? Until we
that's
learn
right.
to do it better. Listen, guys, I am super excited. Thank you guys for joining me this Saturday. You guys know I've been doing the social media live challenge for the last, early October. I have a social media coach that challenged me to go live 30 days, and we went 30 days, and we got on a roll, Tom, and we just kept on going with it through the holidays. Because as you said, during the holidays is a time when people need hope and encouragement. And so before I go on, can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, you bet. Well, first off, I just want to say this. What you're doing is amazing, right? And it's from a perspective of consistency. If you are out there setting an example, being consistent, and then you up it a little bit and you bring a message of, whoops, my camera just shifted. I'm trying to do an improv setup here. Uh, if you're consistent in bringing a message of hope and encouragement, it's even more meaningful to people when they're going through a difficult time. And of course, all of us, if you've been around the sun a few times, we've all lost somebody we've loved. We've had relationships that didn't exactly go the way we planned, or there might even be some regrets in there. And so it's a difficult time during the holiday season. But when you spread the message of hope and encouragement, and it's based on love, and you just bring that out, then it gives people a time to reflect and have a little bit of gratitude. So just kind of, Johnny, your spirit of encouragement and your feedback and answering people on all the comments, that's just an awesome thing. And so I think you actually wrote me maybe 2 or 3 months ago and said you were going to start doing something like this, and you put it all together. And so I'm just grateful you're doing it.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things. And I was talking about here, and I think my first take, where when we started this in 2020, and we unknowingly signed up for the first Ziglar Legacy Certification Pandemic class. And as you said, we were the best pandemic class, the best virtual class that ever came through Ziglar Legacy. And I've actually honed in, even though we have a lot of programs that we can coach on, right? Choose to Win is I now call it the foundational, because now my community is the FuNLiFe community, where we encourage these individuals to reactivate that childlike faith. And it's based off of the conversation that Jesus had with his disciples, or with the people, where he says, suffer not the little children unless you be converted as little children. You won't even see the kingdom of heaven. So when we reactivate that childlike faith that is inside of us, it allows us to really live out our childhood dreams in this playground we call life. And if you think this playground in life is amazing, wait till we get to that playground in heaven. And so I'm so thankful, because that's where Mr. Ziglar, that's where Dad is at. He's up there just leading the cheering section, leading the worship service. Probably he's probably giving the angels motivation and encouragement right now. But I'm so thankful for you guys because it was during the pandemic that you coached us through how to shift, how to pivot. And I've been doing that ever since. And now it's almost at a next level. So, can you kind of describe that as far as not me getting up here because I really want them to hear from you, but share with them some of the shift and pivots that you've seen and what you're doing out and about to help encourage and motivate other people kind of carrying on this legacy.
Yeah, it's hard to believe that 4 years ago, right now, we didn't know what was in store, right? And then all of a sudden in March of 2020, the whole world shifted. And I basically made a commitment when that happened. I did over 300 Zoom calls, meetings, whatever you want to call them, in like that first 4 months of 2020. Well, from really April until the summer. And what I wanted to do was just to send out this idea that we have a choice. No matter what happens to us in life, we have a choice. I heard a very powerful quote the other day, and I don't know if I can live up to it 100% of the time, but it said this. It said, never let your circumstances determine how you treat someone else. Oh, so how many of us get a little hangry, we we missed our tacos for the day, and the next person who comes in is, we don't treat them with that. Well, the whole world got hangry during COVID, and so I said, well, wait a second. Dad said this. Zig Ziglar said this. He said a positive attitude will outperform a negative attitude every time. And so then my question is, do you believe that? Well, I think if we really reflectively, honestly evaluate ourselves, 100% we believe that. We know that if we have a positive attitude, if we're optimistic, if we're upbeat, if we bring encouragement, if we look at what's possible in any situation, we're going to have a better chance at a better outcome than if we go negative on it. And you can, right? You see that all the time. And so I'll ask people, do you consider yourself relatively intelligent? Well, most people will say yes. And then say, well, is it ever smart to be negative? And the answer is no, right? It's never smart to be negative. And so, but people are still where they are. And so that's where we've got to come in and we've got to change the atmosphere. We've got to bring some hope. We've got to bring some encouragement. And that's what Dad did. He lit up the room wherever he went just by his countenance and his words of encouragement and his enthusiasm and his recognition of seeing everybody in the room. And so here's a great takeaway from the pandemic. It's really helped the live training that we do and the speaking that I do. It took me to a different level because I had to learn how to communicate on Zoom or Facebook Live or whatever we were doing. And it became very question oriented. And so when I do a Zoom call or when I'm doing training online, it's like every minute or 2 minutes, I'm asking a question for people to put it in the notes. And I see some people on. Archie Whittingham is on. I see that. So Archie, what's your favorite Zig book? I know you've read a bunch of them. So what's your favorite Zig book? And so all I did for y'all who are watching this, all I did was just give you an example of how you draw people in to the uh, to whatever the activity is, and so they can participate. Here's the other thing psychologically is a lot of times people feel pressure when they go and present somewhere or do training because they're so worried about how they're going to come across, right? So you get the I focus, you get focused on yourself. And when you walk into a room or on online training or just go and do what you do, but you're focused on the questions you're going to ask, it changes all of that. And so it made it a better. I see Nora is on there as well, or she left a comment. So glad to have you on. So that's just a little bit about what we learned in there and the importance of choosing to be the person who changes the atmosphere. Right? That's a really awesome thing. Every single, I used to watch Dad in an autograph line, and the line would be like 500 people in length, right? All of these different people. And every person who came up, he would spend a moment with them and he would look them in the eye and he'd say, "Tell me about yourself. Why are you here?" And he'd ask them that question. He'd autograph the book. He would hear them. And it just reminded me that, like, probably none of us can be Zig Ziglar on stage, but we can all be Zig Ziglar one-on-one. And that is a powerful thing. So when we choose to change the atmosphere, that one person right in front of us, then we've made a positive difference in their life. And when you do that, and this, when you do that and you get the feedback, who really wins? Well, you both win, right? You both win. All right, Archie's putting in some quotes in there. I love it.
Yeah,
Favorite
it's
guy?
that win. Absolutely right. There's a guy I know wrote a book, Choose to Win. I think it's right over your shoulder, and I can't tell you how many times I've read it with my coaching clients, and every time we read it, we unpack a new level, something that wasn't there before because of what they're going through and how they read it, and it actually helps me. It's so interesting because it helps me do it, and now I'm on this physical transformation. I've been trying to overcome this taco, this really abusive relationship I have with tacos. I'm making progress, but we're finally getting there. We're gonna do the block in a mailbox. I finally have somebody to hold me accountable. But whenever you find your community, those people that are there, like you said, to completely change the atmosphere, right? It says that this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. And it wasn't talking about an LED, it was a candle, it was a torch, so to speak. And that fire changes the environment that it comes in contact with. So I see what he put down there about the Archie put you can have everything in life, right? His whole Dad's whole career was based off of that one quote, that you can have everything in life you want if you'll help enough other people get what they want. The quote that I've been kind of really honing into, well, two actually, is that you cannot consistently, there's that word again, perform in a manner that is inconsistent with the way you see yourself. And then the one that we're doing for 2024, right? That new year, new me. But Dad said this. Mr. Ziglar said that you already have all the characteristics of success that you need. You just simply have to. Could you share a little bit about that one?
Yeah. So Dad was very famous. He said that for this idea, he said, you already have every quality of success inside, right? That's characteristic quality, same thing. You already have every single. You've got honesty, and you've got integrity and compassion and love and kindness and mercy and grace and all of these different things. You already have that. However, what you've got to do is you've got to first recognize that you've got it. And a lot of people are like, well, I don't have that. Well, yes, you do. It's just undeveloped, right? So you got to recognize it. Then you got to claim it. Okay, I've got all these qualities. Now I got to claim them. I'm claiming it. I'm claiming it. And then you got to develop it, right? Because let's just say, well, for me, disciplines, I have discipline. Okay. Now, naturally, my for whatever reason, on a scale of 1 to 10, my discipline's probably naturally like a 2 or a 3 for the things that I should do.
I feel
You win.
I feel
Yeah.
that.
And my discipline for the things I want to do is pretty good,
Yeah.
but my discipline for the things I should do that have a little bit of short-term inconvenience but a lot of long-term gain, right? My discipline's pretty low, but it's there. And so what I've got to do is develop that. And that's where in Choose to Win, we talk about replacing a bad habit with a good habit. So, my thing this year is, boy, I've really honed in onto the perfect start. I want to win that first little bit of the morning, and it's just changing the day. I'm working on my performance planner every single day. So you got to recognize, claim, develop, and then you got to use it, right? So those are the 4 things. So you got every quality of success inside of you, but in order for your life to change, you got to recognize that you have them, claim it as your own, and understand where it is, develop it, right? Put a plan of action in place to grow it, and then use it. And so how do you use discipline, or how do you use whatever quality you're in? Well, you just write it down and put it in play, right? And so what happens is you create new new habits and new ways of life. Now, Johnny, as a coach, I'm gonna give everybody a quick a coaching model, and it's around Dad's quote: "You can have everything in life you want if you'll just help enough other people get what they want." And so, Johnny, this is what you do in your coaching. There's 5 questions embedded in that quote. You can have everything in life you want if you'll just help enough other people get what they want. Question number 1 is, what do you want? So if you want to be more in 24, then you got to get real clarity on what do you want? What does success look like to you? What do great relationships look like to you? What would outstanding physical health mean to you, right? You've got to really dig into that. And then once you discover and get clarity on what do you want, then you got to ask the second question in that quote, which is, why do you want it? The why, right? It all starts with the why. Why is the why so important? Because obstacles are coming, right? Well, I want great physical health, but you know what? The buffet looks pretty enticing right now. So why do I want good physical health? Oh, it's my family. It's my grandkids in the future. It's the difference I want to make in the world. You know, Dad didn't really, he made it clear. He didn't enjoy working out, right? But he loved the benefits of working out. It gave him clarity and energy and all those things. And he was real clear. You don't have to like everything you do, right? Which is awesome, right? That gives us freedom to do it. So what do you want? Why do you want it? And then the second part of that quote has 3 questions. You can have everything in life you want if you help enough other people get what they want. So third question is, who are the people? Who are your people? Who are you going to help? The fourth question, what do they want? So you get real clarity on who your people are, and then you start asking, well, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? And then the fifth question is, how are you going to help them? And so I have a coach. All coaches should have a coach. It's just part of life, right? And so if you're out there saying, I want to be more in 24, you got to not only have answers to those 5 questions, you got to have a game plan, right? You got to, and like you said earlier, Johnny, you've got an accountability partner, and that's the difference maker. And so I'm going to encourage you, if you're watching this and you're wanting to make 24 your year, where you be more. And what do we mean by be more? I saw a great it was a meme or something on Facebook. Occasionally Facebook has some gold, and they were asking a football coach, and they said, well, how do you lead and motivate your players? And he said, well, here's the thing. If one of my players identifies as a football player, then they're only as good as their last performance. He said, but if they identify as a human being, then it's their response to whatever happens that gives them their value. And so, oh, Melissa's on. Hey, Melissa, glad you're on. Dana, I saw you're on. Fantastic.
Hey, that's what I call a writer downer. I'm gonna have to go back and look at this for my own notes, because I'm Tom. You're bringing immense value, and that's what this whole thing is designed for, is to bring value, to help people be more, do more, and have more in 2024. We were on that Zoom call when Kenneth O'Neill said that, and it's like like a bomb went off in me. And it's like I was given my directive, my orders, my marching orders. And you said it perfectly earlier about clarity. Once that my vision was clear, my decisions were easy. So it wasn't hard for me to come on here every single day. At first, I thought it was going to be kind of crazy, but it seemed like, if I was going to be helping somebody else to have everything in life what they want, what would they need? Identification. And I literally just did the 7 habits, or the Ziglar goal setting formula for another group, and it's amazing. Write it down. Identify the benefits, right? You start going through all of that, and you can't help but to just be a better person, even if it's slow, progress. I want you, man. I don't want to take too much of your time, but I'm just extremely grateful and thankful that you took time out of your day, out of your schedule to come on here. But I see you have a really, really, really cool hat on. Please explain a little bit about that, because I love me some Billy
Yeah,
Cox.
man. So, good friend of ours, friend of Ziglar for decades, Billy Cox. He started a program called The Movement. And so this is the logo and the hat that I got out of that. And I love the concept of movement. You know, nothing changes until something changes, which means you've got to have movement. And so I just want to encourage everybody, join the movement, man. Just get involved, get in the movement. Billy is fantastic. He's got more energy. I always, every time I hear Billy, I want a blood transfusion, man. I want some of his juice in me. But the movement is really for bootstrappers, entrepreneurs, salespeople, anybody who really, if it's good, the person who's going to make it happen is that person in the mirror. And of course, that's all of us, isn't it? You know, we all have that opportunity to make it happen. And so that's why I'm wearing this hat. Also, Saturday mornings, man, I get up and like today, I turned on my fireplace. You know, it's like 35 degrees down here, and I'm doing my quiet time and my perfect start. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna wear the hat this morning. It's kind of a low key morning, being reflective of what happens during the week, what I want to happen next week. So we're good. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got an event coming up. I missed the last one. I'm definitely going to try to make the next one. But for all my friends, all the people that are following me in the DFW area, I mean, definitely go look up Billy Cox, and I'll find the link and I'll put it down in the comment section, because that's definitely an event or a movement that you want to be a part of. And Billy Cox isn't paying me. I'm not an affiliate, but right, you know, you just can't help but help other people grow, because they're my word. I'll just go ahead and share this with you, and I'll shut up. What my word wasn't abundance. This is a little water thing that I've been challenged to drink, but it was overflow. And it wasn't so much a word, that it was a place. And we talk about give. And during the pandemic, that was one of the first things you taught us, is give it away. Give people hope, give people encouragement, give people something to look forward to. And I've been doing it ever since. I hate to go red hot chili peppers on you, but that was my mantra back then. Give it away, give it away, give it away. But it's impossible to give of your time, your talent, your treasure, your resources without getting so much more in return. So I'm thankful for you, for your giving, for your generosity, and the community that you guys have created. I mean, even having my sister from another mister, Julie, over here in East Texas, close by, Miss Cindy, Alexandra, Howard Partridge. That's next. That's a whole nother subject right there, right? But in closing, Tom, just share with us, what are some of the things that people can be more, do more, and have more, so that they can have their best year and most fun life yet? Because we talk about it in the FuNLiFe community, that a lot of times it's that schoolyard bully that's been pushing us around our whole life, and it's our principal in life, you know, that schoolyard bullies come to steal, kill, and destroy. And our principal has come and said that he's come that we may have life, and life more abundantly. So whenever you start to think about that, I mean, how can my followers, how can the people, the community here in the FuNLiFe, really have their best and most fun year ever from the man himself? Tell it to him.
Yeah. So I'll just share the number one lesson I learned from my father. Uh, and that is, I mean, I learned so many, but that is this: choose your input. Choose your input. So what does that mean? I have a quote: what you feed your mind determines your appetite. And so if you want to be more in 24, then I challenge you to do this. And this is, I was at an event one time and somebody said, Zig Ziglar, he had all these ideas. What was the one thing that made him who he is, right? And of course, there's not one thing, but I had to give an answer. And I said, well, let me tell you the one thing that Dad did that made him Zig Ziglar. And that was every day, 2 to 3 hours, first thing in the morning, he would study and meditate on and read God's word, other authors, inspiration, motivation. And here's the key, right? I want you to hear this so that he can internalize it, simplify it, and share it with someone else. Okay. So his motive was to share it with someone else for their benefit. And so if you want to be more in 24, here is a 5-minute challenge. Start your day, 5 minutes, intentionally reading something, learning something that you internalize, simplify, and then text somebody you love and say, you know what, I just read this. I thought of you. I thought, it reminded me of you. I thought it would give you a lift today. This is pretty cool. And send it to them. And just imagine, what if you did that every day in 2024, that you learned a little nugget, right? It could be, so Christy just put in the comment, the quote, what you feed your mind determines your appetite. Christy, you could do this. Think of somebody in your life who you see them as somebody who does that, right? Somebody who's always learning, always sharing, always grateful, always gratitude. You just text them or call them, even better, call them and say, hey, I heard this quote and I just want to thank you for being an example in this area. Because of what you've chosen to put in your mind, you've had a powerful impact on other people. I mean, that's how easy it is and how 5 minutes can change your life. So be more in 24. What you feed your mind determines your appetite. Intentionally set aside 5 minutes to learn something new, internalize, simplify it, and then share it with somebody else. That's it. There you go, brother.
Wow. Hey, I'm getting emotional just sitting here thinking about how this is going to help so many people. And I'm going to probably replay this. I'm going to probably turn it into snippets or something to just be able to keep encouraging people in all different platforms. And before I let you go, I try to find out a little bit more about the person. So Tom, I'm just curious, do you have a favorite board game that you like to play?
Board game? What's that? Well, it's not a, it could be a board game, but we've been playing this game. I think it's called Fibbage.
Fibbage? Okay.
And so what it is it's on a computer and everybody's playing on their phone, right? And so what it does is it'll put out a little statement. It will say blah 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 blah, and you got to fill in the blank, and you're trying to make it sound like it's true, and then all the answers get put up on the board, and then you pick which one you think is true. Okay, and so if you get the true answer right, you get points, and if other people pick your answer, then you get points. And so it's just a blast to play. I was going to share something about. I think God has a sense of humor. Well, I know He does, right? But
yes, I can attest to that. Go ahead.
So something recently has happened, and I think it's just amazing how God works. And I wanted to share that. So last year, with the book 10 Leadership Virtues for Disruptive Times, it's over this shoulder. It's over my right shoulder. We created a leadership program, and God blessed us, and we're working with a huge company. And last year we put over 500 leaders through it at this company, right? Just awesome. And this is a high-end company, leader in their industry. And some of the people who come to they're so successful, they come on private planes, okay? So they come in on private jets. So what's awesome about it is the 10 leadership virtues, which is what it's based on. That's out of First Corinthians 13. So the 10, the love chapter in the Bible, right? So, and so I'm not taking any credit for it. When I said, okay, what are the virtues that really work? That's pretty awesome. Well, in the last few weeks, we're going to do a series of 5 of these 2-day leadership events for the Amish community.
Oh, wow.
So, and I won't go into detail on that, but a lot. And so for those, we're going into their communities to do it. And so people are going to come to that event in buggies. And so I, God's sense of humor, same program, excuse me, same program. I don't know what happened. Hang on.
We went over our time.
Yeah. Same program, but from bombardiers to buggies, people are coming. So a bombardier is a private jet and a buggy is, and it's God's plan, right? First Corinthians 13 of virtues are how we treat other people. And so I just think that's really, really awesome that the most sophisticated, technologically advanced company that reaches the whole, United States better than anybody else in the market sees the value in a principle-based program, and then the Amish, who are probably is as a group of people, maybe the greatest business people I've ever done life or worked with, simply because they know how to treat people, and it's just amazing that in the center of that is that. So that's God's sense of humor. So I
Wow.
just thought,
Yeah, no, thanks for sharing that. I mean, this whole thing, I like to try to give people a little glimpse into the behind the scenes of the individual. I mean, just a couple more. I mean, what's your favorite ice cream?
well, I have several. Okay, I'm doing keto, so if I have ice cream, it's only once a month. It is my ice cream is my favorite dessert. I will say that. So I like mint chocolate chip. I like pistachio. I like Haagen-Dazs chocolate chip. Uh, Dad, boy, Dad, here's for your ice cream lovers. Here is a tip from the pro.
I'll
When
hear.
Dad would order ice cream, he would go in, and the person behind the counter with the dipper, he would before he told them what flavor he wanted, he would ask them, well, hey, so say, Johnny, so you're the one serving the ice cream. He'd say, hey, Johnny, do you like ice cream? And if you said yes, he would say, well, I want you to 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 dip this as if it's your own ice cream. serve it serve it like you're serving yourself. Yeah, Archie says that's right. My body retains ice cream. That's exactly right. So there's the pro tip. Yeah, so kind of I like having affinity for ice cream, but those are my favorites. Dad loved butter pecan, French chocolate almond, pistachio. Here's another Zig Ziglar behind the scenes. When he would speak, okay, so a lot of times we would go somewhere and he would speak, and he would sign autographs, and so there was always like a rush to get to the airport, not a lot of time. So we'd get through security, and Dad's treat that he gave himself for speaking was frozen yogurt. So, and if they had ice cream, yes, but frozen yogurt, most airports had a frozen yogurt place. So that was the treat that he gave himself.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Thank you so much. Hey, listen, one more and I'm done. I promise I won't keep you anymore. I'm a book nut. I'm a book nerd. And I see you have a lot. And other than the Bible and other than Ziglar books, what's a book that you probably have read, or that you say, hey, this is the book to go read for this year?
Oh, well, let's see. I have a lot of different categories. I'll give a couple. So, of course, I love Bob Beaudine's
Oh,
book, Two Chairs, right? Power of Who. Um, Last year, Brain Energy, Brain Energy by Dr. Christopher Palmer totally changed my view of um, how our brain works and how nutrition plays an impact. And this is what he says in the book, that every mental um, illness, whether it's anxiety or depression or schizophrenia, that food is a primary cause of what you eat feeds all that. And so he goes into the detail. And so I love the mindset, mental, physical link, right? I'm always studying that. So I'm always trying to gain an edge. And so this is how he breaks it down scientifically. But our mitochondria, every cell, God created our body in an amazing way, and every cell in our body has mitochondria in it. And the mitochondria are what take the energy that we consume and convert it into the purpose that the mitochondria has. So some mitochondria will build muscle, some will build fat, some will build organs, some will make hormones, right? They'll turn that energy that you consume so that you can produce that. And so here's the problem. Some of the things we eat, the mitochondria can't break it down. Processed food, sugar, it can't break it down. And so it bogs the system down. It makes them mad. And then some things that we eat make the mitochondria happy. It's easy for them to break it down and use it and to create that. And so every single one of us is unique. We've all created differently. And so what happens is that over time, if you have a poor diet or you're putting processed things into your body, chemicals, you kind of bog that down. So what happens is, what if you bog the mitochondria that are responsible for hormone production? Well, it sets off a cascade, and so anxiety and depression and all these different things can come in. And so if you're wanting to be more in 24, and you're wanting to change your, not only your physical health but your mental outlook, man, that's a great book to read because it really gets into it. And he made the science easy, because I'm a nerd, but I don't have the science background at all. So if I can understand it, you can too. So those are a couple of recommendations. I love the whole series of the Dan Sullivan and Benjamin Hardy are putting out. 10x is easier than 2x, and Who Not How, and all these different books are fantastic as well.
yeah, I'm actually reading Who Not How right now. That kind of rhyme. Anyway, but yeah, thank you so much. I really do. I mean, Dad, Mr. Zig Ziglar had that unique ability to simplify the complex, and he always said to not overlook the simplicity for its profoundness, and made it fun. And of course, he really was a funny guy. And when I started to study the humor behind what he did, people just retained the information that they taught a lot better because of the chemicals that the brain is releasing because of you laughing, having a good time. And so we can go on and on about this, but Tom, brother, thank you so much for coming on here. I appreciate you. I can't thank you enough. Christy, the name of that book was Brain Energy. She was asking about the name of that book, Brain Energy, and then the Bob Beaudine book was Two Chairs. It was that Bob Beaudine is just a, you know what? I need to have Bob on here.
And if you guys check out Billy Cox, Bob is speaking at the next movement,
When is,
right?
you know,
I think it's the 18th and 19th.
of January?
I think of January. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's right. That's right around the corner. Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah, brain energy. Awesome, guys. Hey, thank y'all so much, Tom. I appreciate you taking time out of your morning. There's no better way I could have kicked off my surprise Saturday than by having the man responsible, or the son of the man responsible for this whole be more, do more, and have more in 2024. Amazing. Thank you so much. If I'm not mistaken, you were the first person that went into the newspapers as a natural born salesperson. That's another story for another time. But thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. You have a wonderful rest of your day and be
Be
blessed.
blessed.
We'll see you, Tom.
All right. Bye-bye.
Okay, guys. All right. Thank y'all for coming on here. Again, we had Tom Ziglar, the son of legendary speaker Zig Ziglar, speaker, trainer, coach, motivator on here. Thank you guys for jumping on here. Christy, Archie, guys, this is so much. Carlos, thank you for jumping on here. Dana, Law, hey, there's so much stuff that we're doing in the FuNLiFe community, and it's all powered by the Ziglar Legacy Certification Program and that foundational program of Choose to Win, where we really do help people transform their lives one baby, one simple choice at a time. We also do the See You at the Top, right? The book that made Zig Ziglar famous. The See You at the Top. We have the Building the Best You. We have another program called Building Winning Relationships. Guys, we could technically coach one-on-one for 4 to 5 years and never cover the same material to help you be more, do more, and have more in 2024. Because one of the quotes that we didn't get to, but Mr. Ziglar said that you, right? You, me, we, us, we are designed for we were designed for accomplishment, engineered for success, and endowed. We are endowed with seeds of greatness, and the only thing we have to do is nurture, cultivate, water those seeds and watch them flourish, and you'll see the fruit of your labor because you went into the ground and you died. Right? The law of the sowing and reaping, guys. I see Tom is still in there answering a lot of the questions. Thank you, guys. Archie, I can't tell you how awesome it was to have you. Archie, we probably should have just thrown another person up here and you could hang out with us for the morning. But there's so many things, and so if you guys want to, I'm going to go ahead. My gift to you guys, for those of you that don't have this down, Ziglar had an awesome 7-step for helping you reach your goals, right? He has a performance plan, or a seven-step goal setting formula. My gift to you, just DM me goals or shoot me a direct message to me. I'll send that out to you guys because I really do want you to live and have your most fun life ever, guys. I'm super pumped. I'm probably gonna go jump on the treadmill and do do something with this energy that Tom, he talked about Billy Cox injecting him with his energy. Tom has filled my bucket to overflow, and that's my word, guys. Hopefully you guys got value out of this. Dana, thank you so much for coming on here, engaging, commenting. Again, all this stuff, guys, that we're doing it so that we can give back to you guys, give back to the community. So it's going to be one of those things where we're not going to stop. We're not going to stop. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep bringing you value. Again, your 7-day trial of 2024 is almost over. Go ahead and buy. Go ahead and buy all in. Put it all on red. Put it all on you. Invest in yourself, guys. Call me. Let's set up a conversation. Some of these you guys have already taken me up on that. We have several coaching slots available. If you want your business, if you want your real estate business to get to the next level, call me. I can help you with that. It's all based. You don't have to trust me. You don't even have to know me. You just have to know that Mr. Ziglar spent over 5 decades of helping people to be more, do more, and have more. And if you understand that his process works, I better shut up because I'm going to mess it up for everybody. Just call me. We're going to do this, guys. Thank you so much. Do this. Let's go. Let's live in the overflow. Hey, that rhymes. Let's go and live in the overflow. All right, guys. This has been Johnny Juan Ortiz, your playground guide in the FuNLiFe community. The playground of life it's good. It's good. I'm excited for the future of Tyler, Texas, my community. I'm excited for the community, my virtual community. We've got people in Florida, people in Michigan, people on the East Coast, people on the West Coast, that you're going to be able to hang out with this virtually. You're able to see this because of the technology. And I love you and I appreciate you and wish nothing but the best for you. Adios.